We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
With global pals, it's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
And Ellen. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Everything Theater Podcast, the podcast where we talk about...
Everything theater. Hi there, everybody. I'm Benita Zahn.
And I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And
this
we're
is
so excited.
We're both so excited.
This is we go. I'm so excited. Because we get to talk about the Oscars with our favorite Oscar talker, Jackson Murphy.
Hey,
Hi.
ladies. Hey, it's so great to be back on. Thank you for having me.
Of
You
course.
had a
Yeah.
big year.
What's that?
So you had a big year. Ellen and I are talking over each other. We're
That's
just
all right.
both like
What did I say? Yeah, yes, it's been a big year. Award season has been fun. Lots of movies, lots of things happening, and excited to get into all of it with you guys.
but
Yeah.
you personally had a big
Mhm.
year.
Yes, I think I know what you're referring to. Yes, I wrote a children's book that has nothing to do with movies, and people were very surprised when I said, "Oh, I'm writing a book." They said, "Oh, is it about movies? Is it about your life?" That one will come eventually someday, and I have been wanting to write that memoir for a long time. But this is a children's book, picture book, storybook, inspired by my childhood, called My Very Rocky Christmas. And it is a holiday book, but it's great to read with the whole family the entire year. And I had a wonderful artist, Rebecca Rem, do the illustrations, which are gorgeous. It's available on Amazon. It's really sweet and nice. The reception has been fantastic for it.
Kudos.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm sure it'll be read in your house, Ellen.
Oh, yeah. Got two little ones all ready to listen to it.
That's right. Well, good. I hope they really like it. I hope all little ones like it. It gives you that sense of warmth and spirit, and it's about friendship and guiding on a journey, and I really hope they all enjoy it.
So that's going to lead me to ask you, Everything All at Once. The movie that's getting all the press, it, did very well at the Golden Globes. And yet everyone I talk to goes, huh? I don't get it.
I don't think it's a particularly good film either. And we're coming up on a year since it came out. It came out in April of 2022. Here it is, March of 2023. So it's been almost a year since I saw it, and I don't love thinking back on that experience of that evening and experiencing it. It just didn't work for me as a movie. It tries way too hard with the humor, with the sci-fi, with the visuals. I appreciate all the editing that went into it. It's going to win editing because the editing is insane. Does it work as a movie in the movie? No. But they did a lot, so they're going to win for editing. But yeah, it's no. One of my
unlike
least-
any other. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my least favorite Best Picture nominees, for sure. Maybe not the worst, but it's on the lower end for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jackson. And
Oh.
but I say my biggest takeaway from it is and you can help me with the pronunciation of his name. I should have looked this up before we talked. Short Round.
Yeah, Ki Kwan.
Thank you. My takeaway from it though is seeing him on Stephen Colbert talk about how he quit the industry, and then he did Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then COVID hit, and he was still doing all these auditions. He was sending out all these self-tapes and everything and not getting any callbacks, nothing. He said it felt like when he was a kid again, which is why he quit the industry. And now here he is nominated for actor in a supporting role. And I think it just goes to show that this industry, acting, theater, film, everything it just is a wave, ebbs and
Yes.
flows. And yeah, even the very, very talented people have setbacks.
Yeah, this is a huge year for, especially when you look at the acting categories. Comeback performances, comeback wins, career achievement performances, career achievement wins. You haven't done something in a long time. Here you are. We're going to give you an Academy Award. That case may apply to all four of the acting categories. It may not, but there's a good chance of something like that. Usually it's only one, maybe two of those a year. the fact that it could be all four is very interesting.
Brendan Fraser,
Brendan Fraser is one of them. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
For
who gave a
sure.
very heartfelt acceptance speech at Golden Globes. Among the performers, there was a number of them, to your point, Ellen, who reached out, if you will, to the audience at home, to all the performers who are waiting for a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Brendan Fraser. And I know this the Whale's based on a play. So obviously would love to get into the Whale with both of you. I saw it back in October at the Film Columbia Festival, which is at the Crandall Theater in Chatham. And they've been doing it for 20 years. I love going every year. They get all the big award season movies in October. It's fantastic. So I was there and I watched it and I go, I like Fraser in it. I can tell the effort he's put into this. But this movie really does feel like a play, and I don't love the direction that Darren Aronofsky takes with it, and I'm not a huge fan of the supporting characters, the way they're written and presented. So to me, I was just laser focused on Brendan Fraser and guiding us through those 2 hours. How did you guys? Have you seen The Whale?
Unfortunately, I missed this one. Did you see it,
Okay.
Benita?
No, just clips, as many as I could,
Okay.
see. It's heartbreaking and very hard to watch
Right. Yes.
because of the pain
Mm.
that, but it's very real.
Right. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
in terms of how society responds to people who are obese.
Yes, and it's a struggle for Charlie, Brendan Fraser's character, to deal with that, to deal with his daughter. His daughter comes back into his life, and it's a troubling week, but maybe an inspiring week in his life. Hong Chow, who's nominated for supporting actress, plays his friend who is a nurse. And she comes in and out of the apartment. The movie's all basically in his apartment. I like Hong Chow as an actress. She was great in Downsizing. I met her years ago for Downsizing. She was very good in that. Again, I don't love how the character is written and how it's explored, how her character is explored. So couldn't connect with her as much as I wanted to.
So do you want to take a look at the nominees for best movie? And they're sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
There's no theme, except no women directors were nominated, correct?
In the director category, correct. Yeah.
Right. But you've got Top Gun.
Yeah.
And then you have, Women Talking.
Right.
Which is about to, if it hasn't already come to the small screen.
Yeah, I think it's about to be it's either on DVD or it's about to be on DVD. Yeah.
Everything, Everywhere All at Once. The Banshees of
Inisherin.
The Triangle of Sadness, which I don't know nothing about.
Okay.
The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
Which, can I pause for a moment? Everybody was, oh, the Fabelmans. It was where Golden Globes went by, and I went, where were the Fabelmans? All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, and Tar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Quite a group. Where do you want to begin? It's quite a group. Where do you want to?
Since we're a theater podcast, my heart wants to jump into Banshees of Inisherin because it's written by our beloved Martin McDonagh, at least my beloved Martin McDonagh. I love him so much. He's my favorite playwright. And so I'm curious to hear thoughts on Banshees, and it's been doing pretty well. It's got a lot of nominations. So what do you think, Jackson?
It does. It has a lot of nominations, but just like with Critics' Choice, it may end up with 0 wins, but it may end up with a couple of wins. It's an interesting movie that I've been wrestling with back and forth for 4 months because I like the acting in it. I think the story is difficult to swallow. And that's what's gotten me. It's like, I wanted to like it. It looks gorgeous. There's heart put into the performances from Colin Farrell, Barry Keoghan, Brendan Gleeson, Kerry Condon. Any one of those 4 could be up on the Oscar stage, but none of them may be up on the Oscar stage. But the way it goes, that twist, and then the other twists that come with it, I just couldn't respond to it. It's a tough movie to emotionally connect yourself to in some ways, and an easy movie. So that's my take. You guys, what did you think of Banshees?
I agree that I wanted to like it more than I did, and this was kind of the same as in Bruges. I feel like I prefer McDonagh's plays than his movies, and I found it a little surprising that on the big screen, when you can do all sorts of crazy stuff, this was a very tame movie. It wasn't known for McDonagh's crazy violence and blood all over the stage like Lieutenant of Inishmore. This was a pretty quiet movie. It had like a little bit of gore in there, but he took it a step back, and I guess I was missing a little bit of that McDonagh edge, but I love the performances.
I agree with you. Love the performances, a big Colin Farrell fan, and I think that sometimes having the big canvas of the screen separates us from the story that you are able to connect with better in the intimacy of a theater.
Yeah.
And that trying to create for an audience on the screen what is created in the intimacy of a theater gets lost. It's hard. Which in some ways, I think, isn't that part of the criticism against All Quiet on the Western Front? Is that in the remake, perhaps some of it's sweeping visually. It's
yes,
but you really connect with it.
I screened both All Quiet and Banshees at home, and even Banshees at home, even the experience of the look of it got me, even though the story couldn't. All Quiet, I think, is a strong film. I think it is, especially in the second half. And I didn't know everything that was coming because I wasn't as familiar with the source material as maybe other people. So I was surprised by some of what happens in the third act. And you can feel that power and that grit and that tenacity in those characters later on. I don't think it's amazing, but I got it. I was into it more than I expected I would be.
Did you see the original?
No.
Let's have another conversation. Just my personal, and yes, the lack of the wow that's now possible, I think played more to the story. I think sometimes stuff takes away from a story. But let's be clear. There was a lot of stuff in Maverick, Top Gun Maverick.
Yes. A film I really enjoyed, and a film that is a wild card. When we're talking about who could win in this category, Top Gun is a wild card. Top Gun's been a wild card since it opened in May, when people said this has to be up for Best Picture of the Year. It's been a wild card. So it could win. It could. I don't think it's gonna. I think everything everywhere is going to win, but Banshees could if older people vote for it. All Quiet could win if older people vote for it, and Top Gun could win if older and younger people vote. If Everything Everywhere wins, it is another recognition over the last few years of the younger voters having more of a say than the older voters in the Academy. That's how I believe Everything Everywhere can be on most people's top spots of their ballots.
What happens with women talking?
I also saw at Film Columbia, a film that is good. I liked women talking. It's a tough movie. It's a tough film. But the performances, particularly Rooney Mara and Ben Whishaw, I think both of them should have been nominated. They got completely shut out this whole award season, which is too bad. They were, to me, the central performances in the film that worked.
Is Rooney Mara just not political enough in the sense of smooch in the ring? How do you like? I clean that up.
I mean, she's been nominated a couple times, right? For Carol and for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I remember that was a surprise when she got in a few years ago. Yeah. So the Academy likes her. I just think the lead actress category was incredibly competitive this year, which hurt her. But Women Talking could win adapted screenplay for Sarah Polley. That's probably, it's its only other nomination is adapted screenplay. That's probably going to happen, not Best Picture.
Is it just me, or are you also seeing a big push for Avatar: Way of Water?
Um,
There's just a lot of stuff like now.
yeah, visual effects, it's gonna win for sure. May win another technical category or two if a few things don't go a few other films' way. But it's not in Best Director for James Cameron this time, so I don't see this Avatar winning Best Picture this time. It could have won the last time, but it went to the Hurt Locker. But this Avatar is farther back in the pack.
And then you've got Elvis, which I was kind of surprised that it made the list. Were you, Ellen?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. I mean, it's only in there because of Austin Butler. Really, let's be real. I like Baz Luhrmann's other films, Gatsby and Moulin Rouge. This as a movie, I think, has a lot of problems. So it's not a Best Picture worthy film. No.
And then Tar.
Tar's my number one. Tar's my favorite.
I did like Tar. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I love Tar. I think it's immersive as heck. I think Cate Blanchett is outstanding. I think it's daring. I think it's fun. Gave me those vibes of Birdman, which was my number one of the 2010s. Love Tar. Should win. It's not going to win Best Picture, but it should win.
So who do you think's going to win? What?
I think Everything Everywhere seems to be the safe bet. But hey, All Quiet could win. Banshees could win. Top Gun would be a stunner, but it's not a Mission Impossible. It's not impossible for Top Gun to win this.
Gotta ask, so we'll move into the acting category, and female Best Actor, and there's been a couple of pot shots at Cate Blanchett.
Yeah,
a little bit of controversy there.
Yeah, we've had a couple things. The whole Andrea Riseborough situation, her getting in, the way that she did the campaign that she did was unique, and she ended up taking spots away from a couple women who I thought deserved to be in there more than her, or frankly several of the others in this category. Danielle Deadwyler was very good in Till, and Viola Davis was very good in The Woman King, a film I liked more than I thought I was going to, because it's not your typical action drama. So Andrea Riseborough and To Leslie, it's a good performance. It's in my top 20 for the year for lead actresses, not my top 5. But yeah, there were posts online from other people praising Andrea Riseborough. Vote for Andrea Riseborough. Kate's a shoe-in. Others are a shoe-in. Frances Fisher, the actress, was writing. All these other ladies are shoe-ins. And then it turned out Viola Davis was not a shoe-in, and Dana Diller was not. So there's that problem. And then you have the Michelle Yeoh situation. From what we've all been seeing, she and Cate Blanchett get along very well. And I think whether it was her or her team, whoever controls her Instagram, they want to win this.
And the comment was, Cate Blanchett was good, but she's already won 2. We know she's a star. Give it to me. You're not allowed to do that.
It was a repost of somebody else's article, somebody else's words, and I think the intention was to just highlight how historic this win could be for Michelle Yeoh in her career. But if you're screenshotting every piece of the article, and it was 5 or 6 different slides on that Instagram post. If you're doing one that's about Cate Blanchett and basically saying, you should know after the Andrea Riseborough situation that we just had that that's a no-no. And I think they realized it, but they realized it after 3 hours. And it's very difficult to put something out there and take it down after about 2 minutes without causing somebody to say or do something. So that's what happened. I think, it's too bad, but I don't think it's going to hurt her. What is going to happen is the Academy. They're going to change rules for sure next year about how you campaign for yourself on social media and in other ways, because all their old rules, they're old and they haven't changed with the times. So it was about time anyway. So that's those are the controversies surrounding how to campaign. Yeah. Intense. Just adds to the what is already an intense award season. Yeah.
Now, a question I was going to throw out to both of you, because historically, I feel like the Academy has done this, and I wanted to get both of your thoughts on it. But I feel like as a performer, there's a different way of approaching a role when you're presenting a character who is fresh and new on the page versus a historical person like Marilyn Monroe, Elvis. That's you are doing an impersonation in a way, right? You're trying to match that person as best as possible. And I feel like in the past, the Academy a lot of times praises are like, wow, look at, this person is so similar to this person. Whereas I don't personally, I prefer the opposite. So I wanted to get both of your thoughts about that, since we do have a year where we have a couple historical figures nominated.
I'm with you, Ellen.
Yeah.
It's great to do a cover, but original music is where my heart is, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's on the one hand, you want to create something that's memorable and iconic. Cate Blanchett has created Lydia Tarr, and now people think she's a real person. Yeah. That's how good that Todd Field, as the writer and director, did. That's how good Cate Blanchett did. That's how good that movie is, and the writing is. And then you look at Ana de Armas, who I didn't buy for a second as Marilyn Monroe. I didn't buy her for a second, and that movie was so long. And Elvis was also incredibly long, and Austin Butler's very good in it. So yeah, there were so many challenges. It's about, do you create something new, or it's the challenge of mimicking someone? And they had a lot of challenges, but Butler in particular has talked about the struggles he went through to pull this off. And he does a good job. He does. But yeah, it's rare to create someone like Lydia Tarr and have her reach icon status already. But I think it's also difficult for somebody to embody somebody so well and pull it off. And Butler can do that here. Ana de Armas unfortunately did not. But yeah, I'm not against either way, but I can see the benefits of both.
Was it Michelle? I'm drawing a blank. I can see it. Judy Garland.
Renee Zellweger. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but she was fabulous.
Yes. Rami Malek was so good in Bohemian Rhapsody as Freddie Mercury. Everybody thinks that Rami Malek won the Oscar because of the Live Aid sequence at the end. To me, I remember seeing Bohemian Rhapsody opening night and going, in the dialogue scenes before that very good sequence at the end, I go, I buy every moment of him on screen. I buy every emotion. I buy everything he's going through. I buy it. I believe it. And that, to me, is why he was my favorite lead performance of the year, and why I think he deserved the Academy Award. Not just showing off that he can do the mimicking and the sequence. It's becoming him in other ways.
So let's do the rundown. You want to do women first?
Whatever's good. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. Lead actress? Okay. So Cate Blanchett should win, but it's going to go to Michelle Yeoh. She won the SAG Award. She won the Spirit Award. She's got the momentum. This voting thing happened so late in the voting process, I don't think it's going to hinder it too much. Michelle Williams does not have a chance. Neither does Ana de Armas. Neither does Andrea Riseborough. It's Cate versus Michelle, and I think Michelle wins, though I would love to see Cate Blanchett win for this performance.
And the third.
The third. Frankly, I liked other performances the year she won for Blue Jasmine more than her in Blue Jasmine. This year, without question, she gave my favorite lead actress performance.
Best actor.
So this is interesting because it's 5 first-time nominees, and any one of the 5 could be up on that stage. They should all be prepared with something in their pocket. Even Paul Mescal for After Sun, a very good small movie. Not a lot of people have seen it, but now they are. Intimate film, very good performance. Him, his young daughter, played by Frankie Corio in it, fantastic. Bill Nighy is excellent in Living. Have you guys heard about Living? Oh gosh, it's an excellent performance. My favorite lead actor performance of the year. Bill Nighy is so emotional and powerful and moving in a gentle way. It is a touching film. I love him. He should win. I think Austin Butler wins, but Brendan Fraser could win, and even Colin Farrell, if some of the votes split, could win. So my pick is Butler, but don't be surprised if it's somebody else.
And Butler would be the 5th youngest lead actor to win.
Okay.
To take it home.
Icons. The Academy loves rewarding people just like Renee Zellweger and Rami Malek, Ray Charles, Jamie Foxx, June Carter, Reese Witherspoon, Jeff Bridges, even for Crazy Heart, musicians, singers, performers. I think that's why he wins.
Why do you think that's so?
It's the real people connection. And I think for some of the older people, especially, even though young people love Austin Butler from his Disney TV days and all of that, and they're rooting for him, older voters, I think, will gravitate towards rewarding the guy who played Elvis Presley. And they like seeing the icons. They do.
I feel like they think it's harder to do that. That's my personal thought. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's not. As an actor myself.
Yeah. If they did a good enough job, they will. If the actor did a good enough job, the Academy will reward him or her for playing an icon. So I think that's the case here. But Fraser would be nice to see him win too, because this is a career comeback. And he gives an emotional performance. You can tell how much he put into it. Besides just the makeup and the prosthetics, you can tell all he put into it. So we will see. That's one of the most exciting categories of the night for sure. Yeah.
You want to run down one or two more up, Anita?
I was just saying, is there anything else that really catches your eye that we should keep it? You know, Lady Gaga's not going to perform.
Correct.
Right.
She's filming Joker 2. She's filming the second Joker movie. So they couldn't make that work, which is too bad. I think supporting actor is Ki Hee Kwan. I think he's a lock. Yeah. Supporting actress is a real wild card. I think Angela Bassett.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis. How about that, huh? How about Jamie Lee Curtis could win because she won the SAG. She could win. Carrie Condon won the BAFTA. I think Carrie Condon could win as well. Angela Bassett is still my pick. She won the Globe. She won Critics' Choice. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Chadwick Boseman, The Power of Chadwick Boseman. It's also sort of a career achievement win. That would be for Jamie Lee too. But I think it's Bassett. Hong Chow and Stephanie Hsu don't have a shot. But Angela Bassett's my pick. Animated film, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is a lock. If you've got a ballot, pick that. Song is interesting. I think it's going to be Natu Natu from the Bollywood movie RRR. That seems to have a lot of momentum behind it. And score, have either of you seen Babylon? Did you get a chance to see that? No? Okay. It's a wild film. It's Damien Chazelle's new movie. Of course, he did La La Land, which was brilliant. I don't think Babylon is brilliant, but I think Justin Hurwitz will win the Academy Award again for score because it's infectious music as you're watching that. So I would say Babylon for score.
I want to go back to the Fabelmans for a sec.
Sure.
All the hype because it was about his life, you know, and is the movie really? I mean, it was an entertaining movie.
Okay, you thought that. Okay, I mean,
you could read my body language. You know, it's a nice way to spend 2 hours, right?
I thought it was more painful than that. It was like, you know, he was so close to the material. Could you tell that? He was just he was too in it. And I think there's so many embarrassing things about it. There's so many structural problems with it. What the heck is Judd Hirsch nominated for 7 minutes of screen time for just shouting and everything? Fabelmans is my least favorite Spielberg movie I think I've ever seen. It's the one about his life. How did that happen? But it did.
He sure he was too close to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And didn't see. There's a scene where he's looking at footage, and he looks at it, and then he rewinds it. I'm going to use the wrong term for old film footage. He goes back, and then he looks at it again. He goes back, and this goes on for about 3 minutes. And after 10 seconds, we get it. But Spielberg decided to stay on that for 3 minutes.
And I got to say, Michelle Williams, who I've liked in other things, I felt like she was just really forcing it. I didn't buy, unless Spielberg's mother was very eccentric, but it didn't read as eccentric to me. It felt like a performance to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there was everybody going and said, oh, she's going to be, not only is she going to be nominated for supporting actress, she's going to win supporting actress. She's finally going to win an Academy Award. And then Universal said, we're putting her up for lead. And they never really explained why. My only suspicion for the last 4 months has been maybe Spielberg demanded it. He may have said, I want the woman who played my mother to be up for lead. Maybe. That's the first thought when I heard it. And it's the thought that stayed in my mind for 4 months, that I don't want the person who played my mother reduced to being the supporting actress contender. That's my thought. I think she's in the movie enough to be considered a lead, but she's not very good. No.
And on this, we're recording on International Women's Day. I alluded to the fact that no women were nominated in the directing category. Where are we? What do you, industry-wide?
There's a lot of, we've had female director winners the past couple of years. We won't have that this year. There's a lot of talent and I keep telling people, the most talented people who work in this industry are in animation. There are a lot of talented men and women nominated in this year's animated feature and animated short film categories. There are a lot of women who are making names for themselves already and will continue to do so in the field of animation, which is fantastic. I think animation is one of the most progressive parts of the industry and has been for a long time, progressive, inclusive, for sure. When it comes to just who's nominated in the director category and films in Best Picture, hopefully there will be more with women in the future years. We have women talking this year from Sarah Pauly. We'll see where it goes. These movies have to connect with people. And in this case this year, Sarah Pauly didn't get in director, but she probably will win for adapted screenplay for a good film.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Sunday night is the big night. We'll have our ballots ready.
Good.
See what
Good.
happens.
I've got mine here, and I've got all the picks. All 23 of them are up at lights-camera-jackson.com, and they're also on Twitter at LCJ Reviews. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun show. Jimmy Kimmel back, and we'll see what he does the year after the slap. We'll see what kind of kind of comments he makes. Yeah.
If it was Billy Crystal, he'd probably show up wearing a catcher's mask.
Right. Kimmel and Crystal are friends, and they already did a Top Gun thing as a promo. So maybe Billy Crystal comes out as a surprise. That would be fun.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely.
Jackson Murphy, thank you so very much. We may just have to do a mid-season with you, and not wait a whole year.
Yeah.
Well, this was so fun. Thank you, ladies, for having me back on. Enjoy the Academy Awards.
Thank you. And for everybody, we'll catch you next week. I'm Ellen Cribbs.
And I'm Benita Zahn. Take care.
Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time. It's everything, everything.